week on our farm in Portugal, there's big changes happening. We get permission to burn on the property and get rid of some of the stuff we've cleared from the land. And with the help of some friends, we get stuck into taking care of our grapevines. Finally, we're treated to neighbourly gifts and put down some roots of our own throughout the gardens. Oh, and it's competition time. But more on that in a little bit. We are the newbies, John, Tara and Crusoe, and we've been living an extraordinary life, committed to making our minutes and seconds count. For the last 2 years, we've been living in vans and travelling the world.
Something's just happened.
I could be wrong, but I think there's a chicken.
Crusoe has already been to 23 countries on 4 continents. We have fed giraffe, faced down elephants, kayaked with humpbacks,
The spray coming up through.
and played with meerkats. We've taken some of the world's greatest hikes, visited the world's greatest cities, and seen some of nature's greatest spectacles. We even got married by a penguin, but that's another story. Now it's time for our biggest challenge yet. We've bought an abandoned farm in northern Portugal, and our mission is to turn the overgrown wreck into an off-grid, sustainable place that we can call home. Join us and follow our journey. Be brave, think big, explore.
Well, welcome back to the farm.
Welcome back to the farm, and thanks for tuning in again. It's been quite a week this past week, lots going on.
So we are busy doing some research because you guys have inspired us so much, and we have loved learning from all of the comments that are being left on our videos about things that we could do here on the farm.
Quite right.
And one of the things that has been so amazing, because we don't know anything about it really, is how to look after our fruit trees and our grapevines.
The project this week is we're going to be clearing a whole bunch of land and uncovering hidden treasures, I hope. Anyway, let's see. We're going to find out what's underneath all of that brush around the back there, and we'll be planting a few flowers and a few more fruit trees as well. We're excited about that.
Yeah. Last week we left you with the discovery of a big leak in the wall in our stone house. We're once again waiting on the plumber to see when he's got availability to come and see us and check on it. We're really expecting that that's going to be quite a big job. So that may or may not be happening this week. We'll see how it goes. But for the moment, the most important thing is getting these fruit trees and grapevines under control and back feeling happy and loved, so that they've got the whole summer to recover from the years of neglect, and hopefully means that next season we've got a bumper crop.
Absolutely, because that's exactly what we want, bumper crops, perhaps to go and sell at the market as well. That'd be
Exactly,
fun.
that would be super fun. So yeah, we've got a busy week.
We've got a very busy week. I suppose let's just go and crack on.
I think we better.
Yeah,
There's a
let's
lot to do. So, a smaller but no less important project this week for me is to figure out what to do with all of these lemons. So our neighbour yesterday so sweetly gave us a whole bunch of lemons. You should see their tree. It's like truly laden. So she handed me an enormous bag of lemons, and I've got to try and use them all. I'm thinking lemonade, frozen lemonade lollies, maybe some preserved lemons, which I've never done before. And John is going to Google lemon cider.
I am.
I mean, let's see.
What's that drink that you like, the non-alcoholic drink?
Radler.
Radler. There you
Be
go.
good, wouldn't it?
It'd be great.
Look at them, aren't they beautiful? I wish you could smell them.
Back when we were cleaning out all of the brush and finding all those pavements a few weeks ago, we also cut back a whole bunch of bamboo, lots and lots of it. Not that we really wanted it. It's kind of one of those things I think ultimately we're going to have to start digging out and you know, trying to get rid of it, because it's a horrible thing to have growing. It just grows everywhere, and once you chop down one bit, it pops up another place, and it pops up another place, it pops up another place. Anyway, this is the stuff that I cut down a little while back, a couple of weeks back. It's all all been lying there. The leaves on it have gone nice and crispy, and the stems, the bamboo stems, are starting to dry out. So plan is today to chop off the small bits of the leaves down the sides of the canes, and then we'll have a whole bunch of canes that we can store for a little bit later down the road when we get that vegetable garden growing. I can see some nice runner beans growing up the side of these canes here. It's free stuff, and it's a great way to repurpose something that actually is a real pain in the backside. It is a surprisingly satisfying job, and I've been here now for around about, I don't know, half an hour, 45 minutes, just chopping away at these canes. I'm going to leave it for now and pop up to the farmhouse, have some lunch, and then crack on with a different project this afternoon.
The other thing our lovely neighbours gave us was these beautiful lettuces. So that's what we're going to have for lunch. Without the stuff, obviously.
All right, so this is our orchard. In our farm tour, we showed you around a little bit, but we kind of just breezed past the orchard area. I think it's going to be one of the most important parts of our farm in the future. We've got apple trees, we've got plum trees, I think we've got a peach tree, we've got a fig tree, and we've got orange trees, tangerine trees, and right here is a lime tree. So we're going to plant that lime tree. We just bought it from one of the local garden centres. This was around about 10 euros. Looks pretty healthy. We were watching a video the other day about how to prune a fruit tree in order to be able to make it look good. This one's already been pruned. One of the things I noticed about it was they were saying clusters are bad. Maybe we ought to be getting rid of the cluster here at the top. Leave us a comment. Let us know what everybody thinks. For now, we'll leave the cluster at the top there. But we do know that clusters are I have read that clusters perhaps aren't so good. So let us know what you guys all think. We are taking your advice very seriously, and we'd love to hear from you.
Excuse the giant pile of rubbish. This is all going to get burnt. It's all old wood from the garage, old cardboard, and we're waiting to hear when we can do the burn. You have to apply for permission in Portugal. So we're waiting to hear back from the burns people about when we can do that. And there's a heap of other stuff around the farm that also needs to be burnt. This looks like it's going to be a tough job, love. That ground is so hard, so I'm going to go and get a bucket of water from the trough, see if we can help loosen it up a bit. Otherwise, John's going to be there for most of the day, and we have got lots to do. Crusoe, by the way, is having his morning nap.
So before we put the lime tree in the hole, I've come over here. This is Simba Rock just behind me right there. It's the underpart. And as I've been cleaning and pressure washing away all of the plant litter and the decades of fallen leaves, what we found is that there's a whole bunch of really, really nice soil down here. I'll show you, look, it looks like this. It's quite wonderful. And if I was a lime tree, I think I definitely want that to go in the hole with me. Almost like having some smoked salmon on a Friday morning. Yum, yum, lime tree, you are welcome. So I'm going to stick a bunch of that into the wheelbarrow, wheel it over that way, put some in the hole, put a bucket of water in the hole too, stick the tree in the hole, and then I suppose in a few months' time, we might get our first limes. In a few years' time, hopefully, we'll be selling the limes on the market. Who's that? Hello, Crusoe. What are you doing?
I spoke way too soon.
Really? He's supposed to be asleep.
What Crusoe should be doing is having a nice long morning nap. What Crusoe is not doing is having a nice long morning nap. So a couple of weeks ago, we planted a whole bunch of flower seeds and they've all started sprouting. So just in front of me here are the nasturtiums, which I'm really excited about. Well, I think they were called Indian Cressia. These are daisies, lots and lots of little baby daisies. We've got lupins, we've got lavender, we've got hollyhocks. So we got to figure out where they all go this week because they're all getting a bit big for their boxes.
Oh man, after digging that huge hole, I think it might be in the wrong place. So I got this idea that one day, eventually, this kind of pathway to the orchard, maybe we get rid of these concrete arch bits that the vines used to hang on, because we've got vines all over the property and perhaps not there. But I had this idea that there would be a tunnel going straight down to the orchard way, you know, with things growing over the top of that tunnel, kind of fun. And if that lime tree isn't, it kind of, at the moment, it's to the left. Do you think the lime tree should be sort of thinking about the future? Should it be in the middle of this row here so that when you're walking through, you can see the limes at the very end? What do you think?
No, I think it should be to the left so that you'll be able to see the vegetables at the very end.
Okay, so what, maybe...
Because it's kind of, it'll be framed in the left-hand side. The right-hand side's being framed by a plum, isn't it? So
yeah. So do you think it's the right place?
I think it's the right place. I think you got away with that.
Okay.
Crusoe would like to help you push the wheelbarrow, Dad.
Come on, Crusoe. Ready.
Right, I'll go look for a bucket. Go 1 times bucket. Crusoe's cup.
Okay, that looks like it's going to be one happy lime tree.
Something that's so lovely about having this channel is that in 5 years' time, when we're here as a family and I am out here picking limes for supper, we'll be able to look back and watch the episode where John, Crusoe and I planted this lime at the end of the orchard. And that is what it's all about. we were clearing out the houses, there were so many treasures, and I've shown you loads of them, but this one I haven't yet, and it's probably my favourite. I couldn't believe it when we found this in an old chest. Check it out. Look at that lovely old hammock. In fact, it's not even old. I don't think it was ever used. But isn't it beautiful? I've never seen one like it, with all this lovely lace and just lovely fabric. And let me tell you, lying there, looking at that view, is a really nice way to spend time. Good boy. Well done. With the gentle pruning that John's done on the trees around this area, particularly opening up the views, getting rid of the bamboo, there's a whole lot of debris, like branches and lots of piles of leaves. And all of that needs to be moved and put in one place so that we can burn it when we get permission. All right, hey, you want to hold Mummy's hand? Good boy, come on in. Ah. How's our tangerine looking?
Yeah, it looks great. The horrible bit is the bamboo. I don't know how we get rid of bamboo.
Yeah, actually that would be really useful if anybody's got any secret tips. Apart from digging it out.
Quite literally, as soon as I get rid of one piece of bamboo, another piece is shooting up. And I don't want to spend the rest of my days at this farm kicking down bamboo shoots. So it'd be lovely to get rid of it somehow. This one here, less than a week ago, I pulled up all of the bamboo shoots around here, around this tree. Look at how big that grew. Massive. And
that's
it must
extraordinary.
Must take so much energy from the soil and so much water as well.
Yeah.
I'd much rather the tangerine was having that than the blooming.
We've got to try and do something about that, don't we?
Rain, we do. You want a tangerine, do you, buddy? Which one do you want? Are you going to show me which one you want? Hang on. This one's coming on nicely. That's a tangerine.
That is, isn't it?
How about this one, Crusoe? What about this one? Does it look good? Yeah. Shall I open it? Yeah. Shall I? Mummy's better at doing this than I am.
Should Mummy take over?
I reckon Mummy ought to. That's rubbish. Oh, I know where your loyalties are. Hey? Yeah, exactly. Wherever that blooming orange or tangerine is, I'm off.
Can Mama have an Eskimo kiss to say thanks for the tangerine? Can I have an Eskimo kiss? Eskimo kiss, come here. Thanks, my boy.
Technically, darling, they're not called Eskimos.
Oh, yes, but I'm not like you won't be able to put that in, will you? It's cute though.
Yeah, we will.
What's it called now these days? An Inuit kiss?
Inuits or First Nations. Yeah, Eskimos is not preferred anymore. Let's get back on with the work, Crusoe. Come on. You've had your break. Off we go.
This here, by the way, we think is an old chicken coop. So in time, chickens. Can't wait for that.
This is so cool here though. Come and look at this. Not the bamboo,
Are you coming, buddy?
Look, more bamboo roots.
Shoots.
Yeah, so this area here, this is where the competition's going to be. Have a look at that. I'm so pleased. You know, we have discovered so much. When we first started clearing this whole area, you couldn't even see that rock. We didn't even know we had it. Look at the size of it. Look, I'll go and stand next to it. How can you not know you've got a rock in your garden that's that big? Anyway, Tara is going to tell you all about the competition.
So this was an idea John came up with while he was out here clearing. We would like you guys to help us come up with a name for that rock. As you know, we've got Simba Rock around the corner, which actually should be Pride Rock, really, darling. But Simba Rock, it will be forever. But we would love to know if you have a rock or a place in your life where there's a big story and that you would like us to name this rock. Tell us the story, tell us the name, and we'll pick the best one, and that will forever be whatever rock you choose.
So we're having a fire at the moment. We phoned up the municipality here to let them know that that's what we're doing. And they said, yep, okay, no problem. It's overcast and it rained a fair amount last night. So everything's nice and damp. It is pretty nerve-wracking though, having a big fire like this, but we've got to get rid of all of that leftover bamboo branches and other bits and pieces that we've been cutting away. We've got buckets of water everywhere and a hose pipe run down here from the house. So if anything does go a bit wrong, we've got backup plans. I mean, there are people stationed all around the place. I'm keeping an eye out for anything sort of nefarious, shall we say, if it should happen. But it's an exciting day because we're getting these fields ready for being ploughed next week. And having a fire here, burning away all of this trash, that's the first step to getting these fields looking a little bit more like fields.
There's one happy man. Are you having fun?
Not fun. I mean, it's nerve-wracking. I'm really pleased that the fields are getting covered like this or sorted like this.
Yeah.
Oh, a relief. Both fires have burnt quite down now. We've got another couple of fires going on around the property. But it's always a relief to see that no damage has been caused except to the stuff that you wanted to cause damage to, that is, of course. But what a perfect day to wake up to. We've been waiting for this day. Low clouds and a rainy evening. And this is probably the last time until the winter that any burning will be allowed here. So we got lucky.
So we have got our lovely friend from the Airbnb we were staying at, Lida, and her mates here to help us today. And I just love it when they come because there's like this amazing high energy, positive vibe that just descends on the farm. And you have never seen people work as hard as these ladies do. And I don't know what we would have done without them. So everybody always comments every week about how much progress we're making. And we are making amazing progress and we are working really, really hard. But we do have help. And for that, I am so grateful.
Yeah, and absolutely me starting a fire here in Portugal on my own, that would have been a bit gnarly and a little bit scary, especially the size of the fires that we're burning at the moment. Yeah. So Leda and her mates have helped us out with that. They've got the permits, like I said earlier. When the fire was burning big, we prepared really well for it, and it's going to make it so easy, I hope, for that tractor to come in and turn over the fields.
Yeah, it will.
We're pretty excited.
So exciting, it's all coming together.
Yeah.
So while Lida and her mates are here today, they're going to help us with the vines. Now we're getting loads of conflicting advice. A lot of people on YouTube are saying that we should keep the vines as they are because old vines make the best grapes and they'll be delicious and we can have, you know, they should just be looked after and they'll, you know, cut back a bit. Whereas Lida's advice is that we need to cut them to be about, you know, a couple of feet high and start again, and even plant new vines. So we don't really want to cut them this year because we like looking at them, and we think we maybe give them a chance. So what we've decided is that we're going to clean them up make them look better, take off all of the dead bits and the debris, and use the opportunity of the fires to get rid of that. Give them this year to get to know them, and then next year we'll see what we do with them properly.
Let's go and have a look.
Let's go and have a look.
See how it's going.
Learn how to clean the vine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
O seco para ficar o bonito, verde.
Okay.
Sim.
So I think she's saying there's these bits that you can see are good and they're alive, and then there's all the dead bits, quite obvious really, that need to come off, and that's what we're going to spend our morning pulling off. Obrigada.
De nada.
Yeah. So look, this is what we're going to get rid of today. There's all of these like dead bits from seasons past that aren't doing anything other than taking up space and looking bad. And we'll leave the living, beautiful bits of the vines to hopefully flourish and thrive.
Yeah,
for the
because
rest of the year.
as Lyda said, and a lot of people, well, a few people last week on the comments, I mentioned to us that grapes only grow on new growth.
Yeah.
So this year's growth will yield the grapes, and I can see some of them coming through already. So
Yeah, they are quite
we
a
are
few
going to
little
get quite a few.
bunches. We just don't know what they're going to be like, but we don't know if we want to make wine. So if they're just delicious grapes to eat and make juice out of, I mean, that's enough
Who was
for
the
me.
person? Somebody from the States told us a bunch of
Yeah,
whole
about
things.
people who go on these raw diet cleanses and just drink grapes and drink grape juice and eat grapes for a week.
Brilliant idea.
Brilliant, fair enough. But our vines have got really we was just pulled down this morning. Sadly, I didn't think we got a shot of it before we did, but there was one that had climbed right up into an oak tree. I was quite excited to have grapes in an oak tree, but it had to come down, so they've come down. But it is amazing how they've spread everywhere. And it also just feels really great to be getting stuck into them. They're such a feature of this farm, and they've kind of felt a bit like, I don't know what to do with that. But I feel like the more we kind of engage with them and the more we come into contact with them and the more advice we get, the more we're going to know and the better it's going to get. Someone tall is required.
Yeah.
Let's get these vines back up. So these I later pulled right down from that camellia tree at the back there and the fig. And we're going to try and put them back onto the wire and see if we can salvage them.
Okay, so bit by bit. Lift this one up. Gruesome.
Love it.
Yeah, you know, it's like everything in this whole project. We've just been making it feel lighter.
Yeah.
And I think things grow better when it's lighter.
Yeah,
Certainly I know I feel better when it's lighter. So, let's wrap that around a bit, shall we?
So what we're finding as we're cleaning the vines is that there's actually very little left that is well and strong. So we'll see how it goes, but a lot of them are pretty knackered. So we might just, as I say, leave it for the season, see what happens. Hey, love?
Yeah.
And then next year, it might be a case of taking them out and putting some back in again.
So this is how we communicate at the moment with Lyda and her friends through Google Translate.
Lyda, Fernanda and Melia all have full-time jobs. Melia is a night nurse at a retirement home. Fernanda works in a restaurant. And Lyda runs a business looking after holiday homes in the area. We are immensely grateful that they took the time out to come and help us for a few days. They made all the difference, and we've never ever seen 3 people work so hard. Thank you, ladies. We feel lucky to know you.
Yeah. Yeah, wow, hey. That's a worm, buddy.
That is a ridiculously big worm, though.
It's not an actual worm, it's a reptile, but it's called a slow worm. Also completely harmless. No need to worry about him at all.
Cool.
Yeah.
What do you think, Crusoe? Yeah.
So I just did a bit more reading, and it's a legless lizard. That's
A
what it
legless
is,
lizard.
yeah. Well, I can honestly say that this has been one of my favourite days ever. It's a beautiful day, even though the sun's not shining. It's kind of misty and cool, and it really feels like we're in the mountains, which is amazing. And to get stuck into those vines and fruit trees finally feels just like we're doing what we should be doing for this place. Getting to know everything, getting things working. Oh man, I'm so excited, love.
It's a great day, darling.
It's a great day. Good work, darling.
Yeah, we're nearly there, aren't we?
We're nearly there.
I'm feeling scruffy and thirsty
Yeah.
and a bit smelly.
Well, I wasn't going to say anything. And darling, I think we're day 3 of that t-shirt now.
Are we?
Mm-hmm.
It's becoming a part of me, darling.
Sometimes I think your clothes could just walk off you.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, they like to travel like me. Well, that's it. It's the morning after the day before, and all of the fires are down to a smoulder. It was such a success yesterday.
Yeah.
Thanks so much to Leda and her mates, Melia and Fernanda. Thank you so much for coming and helping out. That was such a great day.
Yeah, those ladies have done... Yeah, exactly. You love them too. Hey, buddy. So we still haven't sorted out the water problem. The plumber hasn't had availability to come this week, so our wall continues to leak. So tune in next week to see whether or not we managed to get that fixed. And remember the competition. Let us know what we got to call that rock.
Yeah, exactly. Next week, we'll be giving you a run around the outside of the farm. Now it's all been pretty much cleared back to what it was originally. You can see a lot, and we've discovered... We've discovered fields that we didn't even know we had.
Yeah.
So that's going to be a great walk around.
Yeah, exactly. Super excited for that. But in the meantime, thank you so much for watching.
Yeah, thank you very much. Please do remember, like, subscribe, turn on your notifications. And if you've got an idea for a name for that rock, or you'd like to give us some advice or some tips, leave us a comment. We love hearing from you.
We do. We'll see you next week, folks.
Thanks very much for watching.
Bye.
Bye. Say goodbye, Crusoe.
Say bye.
Bye. There we go.